Welcome to garden number 2. This video was taken last fall when everything was half dead from the drought, but you can see the previous owners had an adorable little garden. A box full of asparagus was already here. Also a tub, because what garden doesn't need a tub? I had cleaned out this of weeds, and then the other boxes were just filled with weeds, including these huge oak trees that have been growing in here for many years, clearly. And just so many weeds, but look at the potential. Also, the biggest rose hips I have ever seen. So nothing to it but to do it. Down to weeding, so much weeding. And then I planted a few of the herbs that I had brought from my previous garden. The previous owner also left a few bags of red mulch and just a bigger mess than I could ever imagine. So jump to this spring when things didn't look quite as intimidating, but as you can see, they are pretty bad. And honestly, this does not give scale to the amount of trees, like full trees, that are in this back patch, and also just so much debris. The ground, pretty much all of that ground, is covered in carpeting. Not just weed barrier, but carpets, bath mats, car mats, any type of mat the previous owner could throw down, he absolutely threw down, like full rugs. And then there's the broken down pots and so many bricks just everywhere. After a lot of work with my siblings, you can see here, we cleaned up a lot of it and it's starting to look pretty good. And this is just some of the debris that I'm left with. There is a little currant there and a weeping Siberian apple, but there's still a huge mess, and you can see always more carpet. Right when I think it's gone, there's more carpet, and there's a trailer, one trailer of this stuff we took away, and just always more bricks. But I'm getting a handle on it, and look how well the herb garden has come in. Everything is looking absolutely beautiful, and that's just in the boxes. But now it's time for the big guns, and there's my father hooking up to the plow, because all those trees there, many of them were cherry and just invasive maples, but a lot of them were thorns, and you can't just cut a thorn down and expect it not to come back. And by cherry, I mean wild cherry, which gets black knot and is just a bane in this area. And off he goes. You can see a little bit of asparagus growing there in the middle, but honestly, I just could not save it. Some things just had to be sacrificed. And of course, the tractor brought up more carpet and other junk. This lady does her very best to help. She would work 24/7 if we let her. Beautiful chunky soil, and then it's time for the tiller, my favorite part. And check out all that beautiful ground that is now ready to plant. I'm going to put a greenhouse over in this corner. And over here, I'm going to put some berry bushes so I can step out the back door and pick berries. And you can see I have some house plants that I brought out to have a little bit of a rehab time in the sun. And then on to some plants that I've put in the boxes to save until I find a spot for them. So I have a currant bush there, and you can see I had some ferns that I've been growing in that box. This beautiful, probably 4-year-old milkweed at this point that I've been moving from place to place and cannot wait to finally have a permanent spot for it. A lot of hostas, some bee balm, I think. A few of my trees did not make it through the move. And I've got blueberry bushes just waiting. And of course the asparagus. I do not know if they're going to make the move from that box, but I hope so. And the garlic was just teeny tiny bulbs that I got for practically nothing and decided to do a trial run in the boxes. But yay, they did very good, even though they are very tiny. And waiting to go into the new plot, some very old rhubarb that I literally dug up from my mother's garden that's been growing through my whole childhood. And as always, thanks for watching, and what might come next?